Let's go to our man Keena in Dallas, Texas. Hey, Keena, what's going on, brother?
How you doing again?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
Oh, I'm all right.
Cool.
I am looking at AMD. I was looking at it when you mentioned it early in the broadcast as one of the ones that was up good. And then you talked about NVIDIA. And I'm looking at the volumes on AMD and wondering, do you think it's going to tag along with NVIDIA, or do you think it's going to behave differently?
So, let's go say Advanced Micro, AMD, the low for the year is $9, the high is 15. Now, this is what the difference is, that you do have like a small expansion of volume, which is pretty good. It's not an ABC up, though. It's taking that B point out right now today, 48 million, the B is 74. I'd say it can tag along with it, yeah, and probably get to, $12, but the difference is that, like, okay, let's take a look at this. I'm going to bring this back a year. Is that AMD is coming into some severe downdrafts. Put it that way. That are going to give it quite a bit of resistance. Now NVIDIA has the same thing, so I know what you're saying. The difference with NVIDIA today is that the volume is extremely big. Do you know what I mean? For a light volume day.
Yeah, it is. And the thing that got my attention on the AMD was two things, and you can shoot them down if you want.
No.
But the first one is the volume bar on March. What is it? The 13th. It's kind of it's not really a doji, but it's long-legged on both up and down with the wicks.
Okay.
And the volume, and that, I think it's the 13th. And then there's the volume bar on the gap day, late in April there. It's above both of those, clearly. I mean, it's into the bar from the 13th of March.
Yeah.
Significantly. And it didn't pull back down to the top of the volume bar from the gap day on April, April.
Oh, yeah, no, I see the 13th. I see what you're looking at. Yeah, that's pretty intense, man. Right.
I'm just trying to figure out whether or not it's, because these last 2 days on it has been pretty strong. I was impressed.
Yeah, but you're right. I wouldn't be buying it. This is slamming. This is slamming right into that bar, and that bar, folks, has 174 million shares. We're at 48 million now. What does happen, Keener, is this. See, the bottom of that bar is $11.09.
Which one are we talking about?
The 13th, the March 13th.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and the top of it's 12.03. Now we made it to 11.56. Normally what happens, so let's picture we get a $1 bar, right? When you make it halfway through a bar, most times you're going to get to the top of the bar. That being said, the way this is getting there is saying, okay, that'll fall out of bed because you have that bar, you have the bar that is on the 5th, and then if I bring this over just a little bit more, we're going to have the bar of January also. Yeah, yep. And then you get the bar of October. See the bar of October? That's a vicious one.
Yeah.
That's 166 million. Yeah. So that's
it has a chance to go a couple. If I was going to play this on a day trade, where.
Yeah, you could. You could play it. You could play it on a day trade, and you get out of town. Basically before NVIDIA comes out with numbers. That's for sure.
That's what I was thinking. But it sounds kind of risky, but I don't know. If NVIDIA's going to run up, maybe the tag-along is AMD, but I don't know.
Well, the tag-along is that you just get less shares in, same percentage-wise, and you go into NVIDIA.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's...
But what I do is I trade for, I aim at a certain percentage gain on each trade.
Okay.
And it's a lot harder to get it with on one that's 200.
It is. I agree. No, I know.
I got 50 cents here.
I know what you're saying, and it certainly is. Definitely, if you get, what happens, folks, is this: if you get a smaller equity, that I'm not talking about a penny stock that doesn't make any money, but if you have a smaller equity number-wise, and it's moving, you can get 50 cents in a much bigger percentage move, much quicker than you're going to get out of $200 stock. Yeah, it's it's intriguing, isn't it, how that works? I know, but it does. That's the bottom line,
Well, that's the way That's really the way my spreadsheets are set up, is to try to get a percentage gain of a certain amount off of, and I'm looking for those advantages, and it looks like AMD has the advantage of it, even though you're right that NVIDIA is probably the better play.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I agree. And listen, I absolutely, okay, so a $10 stock can only get on $10, but guess what? We're talking about a $10 stock that, and this is why I want to make sure we're clarified in this, folks, that has an income or a revenue stream of $6.7 billion, okay? So, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, I'm sure many times you hear me, when people call in, there's you know, these gold equities that are expiration plays that have no volume. Well, there's plenty of gold companies that actually take in money that are trading at the same $2 or $3 level, and I do the same thing inside of those also, Keenan. Do you know what I mean? That.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do. No, I like what you're doing, man. I like what you're doing, because the difference, you know what drives me crazy? Sometimes I'll go in a couple of them, because you never know which ones are really going to go, right? And even in the same sector, it's like, man, it's so weird. Why did this one go and the other one didn't go as much, right? And, you know, you never know. But you do know when they start going, the first expansion of price normally is a much bigger percentage move. Now, we both know that when you also do that, folks, when they fall apart, they can fall apart really quickly, too. So, you know, talking percentages, you better make sure your stop is very solid and it's very quick. You know, but
yeah,
no.
I don't want to take too much of your time, but what I usually do is I put in a real quick, as soon as I get a buy-in on it,
Yes.
I have a flat percentage gain I'm aiming at,
Yeah.
I come in and put a sell order in right then.
Right.
I mean, I don't even let the thing, I'm running from one screen to the other, putting that sell order in before I can even turn around. I don't even run my numbers to see what my profits are until I got a sell order in there.
The way that I got that sale, and that the market's job is to take the most amount of money away from the most amount of people in the least amount of time, is exactly that. That when you actually, and this is what's cool, because he's doing basically a notebook, folks. When you do the notebook and you do all your trades, what you're going to see is that most times you actually get in the money. The real question is, are you taking the money? That's it. If you're tracking it, you know that. Do you know? And it's really wild, man. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, you know, sometimes it goes south in it quick, but most times you'll get in the money. The real question is, do you take the money or not, and say, okay, I want a little more, you know? So.
Yeah, I had 3 of them today, and one of them was 6 minutes, and that was it.
Good.
That's just in and out. You know, all I want to do is get my money out of it.
Totally, man. Cooking, brother.
All right.
Have a great one.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
Bye-bye.
Let's go back over to